Good morning, students. Today we will study the poem Dover Beach, written by Victorian poet Matthew Arnold. Matthew Arnold had written this poem somewhere around 1851 after visiting the beach of Dover, which is located at the southeast of England. It is a port city facing the coastal areas of France, separated by English Channel. Here the poet hears the sound of sea waves beating against the pebbled seashore, which fills him with the feeling of a sadness, as it reminds this rise and fall of water reminds him of the present miserable situation of modern man, as the modern man witnesses loss of religious faith in the wake of industrial revolution and several advancements in science and technology. The sea is calm tonight, the tide is full, the moon lies fair upon the straits. Here the poet, standing at the window, observes the night scene outside, and he sees that the sea is calm, the sea is still, there is no movement in water, the tide is full, it is high tide time, means the water level is at its highest, and it has come out far on the sea banks or the sea beach. The moon lies fair upon the straits, and the reflection of the moon can be seen on the water on the straits here, Strait of Dover or English Channel. And straits is the narrow water body or narrow water passage separating two larger bodies of water. On the French coast, the light gleams and is gone, and he can see across the Strait of Dover or English Channel the coastal area of France, where the light gleams, where the light blinks, the light shines and is gone, means disappears. The cliffs of England, steep rocks, ऊंची चट्टानें इंग्लैंड की स्टैंड ग्लिमरिंग, और ऊंची चट्टानें इंग्लैंड की देखी जा सकती हैं टिमटिमाती हुई, ग्लिमरिंग करती हुई विद द रिफ्लेक्शन ऑफ लाइट एंड वास्ट, एंड दिस क्लिफ्स आर वेरी ह्यूज, बहुत विशाल हैं, एंड दे कैन बी सीन एक्सटेंडेड आउट, बाहर की तरफ निकली हुई है इन द वाटर, एंड दैट वाटर इज ऑफ द ट्रैंक्विल मीन्स काम वाटर, शांत पानी, किसका, खाड़ी का. Come to the window, sweet is the night air. Here the poet seems to address somebody who is present there, and it might be his beloved wife. He asks her to come to the window and observe the pleasant and sweet night air outside only. But contrary to this pleasant and sweet atmosphere described in the earlier lines, the poet is going to describe the nature totally in a different mood in the following lines, as he finds the sound of sea waves beating against the seashore very depressing. He sees only from the long line of spray of waves where the sea meets the moon blanched land, where the sea meets चांद की रोशनी में नहाए हुई धरती से जहाँ समुद्र मिलता है, वहाँ पे वेव्स की लॉन्ग लाइन ऑफ स्प्रे को देखा जा सकता है. एंड वेयर यू कैन लिसन, you hear the grating roar, you hear the harsh noise of pebbles which the waves draw back and fling, where the sea waves draw back the pebbles from the sea and throw at their return, when they return at the seashore up the high strand. They throw that pebbles on the slopy high seashore, sea bank, begin and cease, and this process of sea waves going deep into the ocean and coming back at the seashore is very continuous, it is repetitive, it begin and cease, and then again begin with tremulous cadence, slow, and its rhythm is shaky and trembling, and bring the eternal note of sadness in. And this continuous repetitive process of sea waves beating against the seashore, it brings the note of sadness. It fills the poet with the feeling of sadness and melancholy, and this feeling of sadness is eternal, as people of every age witnessed it. Sophocles long ago heard it on the Aegean. The poet takes us into the remote past in ancient Greece, where Sophocles was a 15th century BC Greek tragic dramatist. सो ही सेज सोफोक्लिस टू हैड हर्ड इट, सोफोक्लिस ने भी इसे सुना था, इस वेव्स की डिप्रेसिंग आवाज़ को सुना था ऑन द एजियन. एजियन इज़ द सी, इट इज़ अ सी, it is a part of Mediterranean Sea which separates Greece from Turkey. So Sophocles had heard it, had heard this depressing noise of sea waves, which brought into his mind the turbid ebb and flow. Ebb and flow means उतार चढ़ाव, जीवन के उतार चढ़ाव. So it had forced him to think about the vicissitude of life, that human life is basically, it is fundamentally miserable. We find also in the sound a thought, and similar thought, that human life is basically miserable. We also feel the same about human life when we hear this noise of sea waves by this distant northern sea. When we hear this noise of sea waves beating against the pebble seashore, we feel same about human life. The sea of faith was once too at the full. Here the poet compares the prevalence of faith, that is, belief in God and religion, with the sea. And he says that the sea of faith, there was a time when belief in God and religion was at the full, it was very high. And round a shore lay like the folds of a bright girdle furled, and it had covered, it had surrounded earth shore, it had surrounded world like a bright girdle fur, जैसे कि एक सुनहरा बेल्ट कवर करके रखता, सराउंड करके रखता है. इन द सेम मैनर people were guided by this belief and faith in God. But now I only hear its melancholy, long, withdrawing roar. But now I can hear, I can feel that people are losing faith in God because the advent of science and technology. So he can hear its melancholic withdrawing. Uh, the sea of faith is receding, making harsh roaring sound to the breath of night wind, along the uh, blow of night wind down the vast edges, drear and naked shingles of the world, leaving behind the naked, barren pebbles of the world. So people here are left deserted, they are left alone in uncertainty in this world devoid of religion. Ah, love, let us be true to one another. Here, the poet, addressing his beloved, seeks a promise from her that we would love each other and we would stay true to one another, because in this modern world where we are completely devoid of any faith in God, the only hope for our salvation lies in the feeling of love. For the world which seems to lie before us like a land of dreams, so various, so beautiful, so new, has neither joy, nor love, nor light, nor certitude, nor peace, nor help for pain. Because the world in which we are living has, which looks very beautiful, it seems very beautiful, but actually it doesn't provide any remedy, any help for our pain. And we are here as on a darkling plain. Here he gives a simile. उपमा अलंकार का यूज करते हुए मनुष्य की मॉडर्न एग्जिस्टेंस के बारे में बताता है. We are here as on a darkling plain, swept with confused alarms of struggle and flight, where ignorant armies clash by night. And our present situation, where we find ourselves amidst competitiveness, skeptic environment, and complete chaos of the modern time. This present situation is like a battle which takes place at the time of night in the darkness, where the armies, both the armies, they do not know who is their friend and who is their enemy. And we are here as on a darkling plain. Darkling means darksome, full of darkness, swept with confused alarms. And this darkling plain where two armies are fighting in dark, this plain is swept. There is prevalence of confused alarms of struggle and flight, where ignorant armies, ignorant means where the armies they do not know whom they are fighting with, who is their friend and who is enemy. So there is complete chaos. So the present situation of modern man is the same of that battle which takes place at night. So this was the explanation of the poem Dover Beach, written by Matthew Arnold. Thank you.